Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly prediction video. Is this guy falling? What are magic numbers? Let's talk about Bitcoin and also our MKT risk index. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. As always, I have my compadre, my friend, my buddy, Lee, over in the UK. How's it going, Lee?
I'm good, thanks.
So I mentioned the magic number in the intro there. What is our magic number?
So we have this thing called a MKT risk index. And the MKT risk index has a magic number. And that magic number isn't 42, it's 41. Now, the idea is, from observation from 3 years of 1 hour data, we can tell that when the market number is higher than 41, we start to see fiat destruction. We start to see a bad market. We see crashes in equities. We see problems. When it's below that number, over time, we start to see business expansion, the S&P rises, things start to improve, and equities start to go up.
So unlike this pretty large range of something like the VIX, like, well, we may be in volatility, we may not. We've got an exact number on the chart that whenever it's on there, we know when it's above it, we know when it's below it, we know the state of everything. It's not a guessing game.
That's right. And it's updated every hour. So you know exactly where it is at this point, what the direction is, and you can glean quite a bit of information from that.
So right now, since we're at 41, that means the market is relatively flat, right? And what do we expect to happen from here?
It's a really interesting situation because it's been in this number. It's not just happened to be at that number at this time. It's been around that number for about 2 weeks. It's very calm, and we have seen things like Bitcoin going up.
Which we would expect in a good market, because whenever there is money available, we're not in money destruction mode, Bitcoin does tend to go up.
It finds its way in there. Now, I believe, and it's a personal opinion, that the markets make a move and then people come along and write stories about what they observed and match the story to the event.
Okay, yeah, so if you have the MKT risk index like we do, you wouldn't have to rely on the news. And we've seen that it leads the news quite a bit, and also the markets whenever we're looking at them.
Especially when we get a crash, which is available in the MKT Pro version, which would basically be an hour-by-hour update on the dial gauge. If it shoots to 100, we know something's going to go down real soon.
When, 77.25% of the time, the S&P drops 2.5% or more?
Or more.
Or more.
So where I think we're at with this and what it's trying to tell us is the market's in an indecision mode. But there's no complacency here, because at any moment we may get a new shock into the MKT risk index, taking it to maybe 100 again on the MKTRedline Pro version. And that would mean that something bad is going to happen. So it's still around that number. It's still very calm. And it's not a surprise because it's the bank holiday, but it has been in that zone for a while. And where that's going to go from there, we just don't know.
So that sort of plays into our predictions as well, right? Everything's been sort of flat. Do we still expect our predictions to come true? Because they didn't this week, right?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Okay. All right. So now we've got our MKTGhost up on the screen. And what is it selling us?
So where I've got the crosshairs was the last week's prediction. And I was indicating, because we had seen quite a bit of movement and the way that this blue zone is way above the red zone, that we would get a long state into the euro-US dollar, meaning the euro's getting stronger, the dollar's getting weaker, because we'd seen these spikes appearing on our long wave indicator, which helps us get the direction right.
Okay.
And as you can see, it followed the flows as shown on screen almost perfectly, hit a little low, which is nowhere outside those flow zones, but hasn't really moved. It's very, very flat. We haven't seen those predictions that we made come in. So I'm going to show you what I see right now on screen.
Okay.
This is exactly what we have on MKTGhost at this point in time. What we can see here is flatness.
It's flat, yes.
Yes. So where I'm going with this prediction this week, we still have these shapes here. There are now a number of these spikes on the long side, which I think really are quite telling. I think what's going to happen is the market's going to jump back to life and we're going to continue with the trend. Although it's hard to say, is that going to happen tomorrow or in a few days? So I don't want to give a 2-day prediction like I did last time and get stung with it. What I want to say is the general direction should be long.
We were talking about predicting the future, and like in the last video, I was just astounded that we had hit it for 3 weeks in a row. We expect to be completely wrong at times. And I think it's fair to say that we haven't been wrong yet. The prediction still stands. So we'll stay with that. We'll just see if it comes true because it's taking a little bit longer because the market was flat because of, well, we didn't even think about the bank holiday, did we?
I didn't know. It's my bad when I was sitting forecasting.
Some of those things get you.
They do.
All right. So Lee, we're going to stick with our prediction we had last week.
We are. We're currently at 109. We're expecting it to be going to 111, even as high as 114.
All right. So we will check back next week and see how we did on that. So I mentioned also in the intro that the sky's falling. So we see these YouTube people out there, all these people on all these channels, banks are failing, all this stuff. We actually know the truth because we're looking at the MKT risk index, which is available in the trader version, by the way, of MKTRedline.
But what we're about is we're supporting people who are in the market right now, who have to make decisions now. And we're showing what's going on right now in the market.
Right. Yes, we have a lot of these doomsayers and everything, and we're not seeing it. So, folks, relax. You'll be okay. We'll let you know. Or actually, MKTRedline, we'll let you know if there's going to be a problem.
Then we will.
All right, everybody. Right now, the market's flat, but as we all know, it's not going to stay that way. So, thanks for joining us this week. Join us next week. We'll check back in on the predictions on the market. Hopefully the sky won't have fallen, so don't give up. Don't panic. It'll be okay. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hey, guys. Hey, that on? Yep. Subscribe.